What's up, everyone? How are you doing? I'm Rodney. Welcome to Shedskin Ideas, where I discuss concept ideas for video games. I focus on making concept ideas where you can personalize your own character and um, for anime related games. I will eventually start discussing other games that would be pretty cool features and mechanics, discuss things like that. In the last video or the previous videos, I discussed solo leveling, how I would make that work as a game, where you can personalize your own character. Which one of the issues is in that universe, there's fixed ranks, and becoming a character with a system like Jinwoo would just not be cool or unique. And before that, Kaiju number 8. Today, I want to talk about a concept idea for Demon Slayer. And I also believe that this anime has potential of being a cool anime game. And I have several ideas I want to share about it. So, if you like the content, please drop a like. And if you have any questions or if you have an idea that you believe that would be pretty cool to be included in it, don't don't be shy. Share it with the community. This whole channel's really just about inspiring and innovating future gaming. So, the title of this game, this concept idea for Demon Slayers is called Breath of Blood and Legacy. So, what if there was a Demon Slayer game where you don't just play as a character, you live a life. You make choices. You fight, you grow, and no matter what, you die. But that's not the end. Because in this world, death is where your real identity begins. This concept is called Breath of Blood and Legacy, an open world RPG inspired by Demon Slayer, built around one idea. Your choices don't just shape your story, they define what you become. So the core world is you create your own demon slayer, you explore cities, forests, mountains, and hidden regions. You train, you fight demons, you learn breathing styles. But this isn't a linear game. There are 10 missions available, and you decide the order. Whichever mission you choose first becomes chapter 1. If you choose mission 10 first, that becomes your beginning. Every mission adapts to your position in the story, so every player has a completely different journey. And as you continue, those missions become your chapters until you reach your final one. And that final chapter defines your fate. Inevitable fate. Because no matter what, your character will die. Not randomly, not unfairly, but as a part of a complete 10 chapter journey. And the last mission you complete becomes the moment that defines what you become next. The mystery demon power system. Because in this world, when you become a demon, you don't copy abilities, you awaken something unknown. There could be over 100 possible demon abilities because every mission contains multiple demons, mini bosses, and final bosses. Any one of them can be the moment your power is decided, and it's not based on what they had. You could defeat a thread based demon and awaken speed, teleportation, or something completely unique. Because the demons doesn't give you their power, they unlock yours. Throughout your journey, demons will offer you a choice: become one of us. At first, you can't accept, but after completing your first mission, that choice becomes real. And when you accept, you don't lose your character, you unlock another life. Dual story system. This game isn't one story, it's two. Demon Slayer Path, your main journey, 10 chapters, breathing styles, training, and progression. Demon Path, a second story, also 10 chapters, different missions, different gameplay, different identity. You can switch between both. 2 lives, 1 character. Demon Knight System. As a demon, you exist only in darkness. Excuse me. Every time you enter the world, it's night, but you're on a timer. So, for example, you have 30 minutes before sunrise. At 20 minutes, you get a warning. You have 10 minutes to escape. Now, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes, it can be an hour of gameplay. It, it's something that would have to be discussed with developers if they ever considered an idea like this. So every fight becomes pressure, every mission becomes urgency because time is your enemy. Combat and breathing system. Combat is built around breathing itself. On easy mode, accessible, fluid, the is essentially the mode where button mashing could lead to success. But on hardcore mode, you must control your breathing, your rhythm, and execute techniques, timing, precision, and control. This creates two experiences: casual and mastery. The stat and progression system. Progression is built through skill points, earned by defeating enemies or defeating other players. As a demon slayer, defeat demons to grow. As a demon, defeat demon slayers to evolve. You invest points into skills that could be speed, strength, breathing control, rhythm, awarenesses, stamina, uh, um, and awarenesses could include sight, hearing, smell, etc. Because not every enemy can be detected. Not every enemy can be detected the same way. You can also use points to improve breathing efficiency, unlock techniques, learn additional styles, or reduce execution difficulty. The breathing style system. You don't choose between breathing styles, you discover them. Different locations across the world teach different styles, different trainers, different environments. These locations act as training grounds, safe zones, and secondary headquarters. But the deeper you go, the more dangerous it becomes, because the night belongs to demons. World and safe zones. The world shifts between safety and danger. Daytime is safer, exploration is easier. Nighttime is dangerous, and demons roam freely. Safe zones exist across the map, but reaching them is a part of survival. Multiplayer modes. Outside of the story mode, the game expands. There's versus mode, 1 versus 1 duels, 3 versus 3 team battles, battle royale mode, where you're in the infinite kingdom, a shifting maze constantly changing and unpredictable, with multiple variations, free for all, every player for themselves, demon slayers versus demons, 50 versus 50, war mode, large scale battles, and demon versus demon, where there's pure chaos. Survival modes where players fight waves of demons together, and in all modes, you can use your demon slayer self or your demon self. Post story canon mode. After completing your 10 chapters, the experience continues. You enter the main timeline, where you can play as Tanjiro and the Hashira and other key characters, now experiencing the original story through a world shaped by players. No matter which path you choose, your story ends. As a demon slayer, you fail. As a demon, you are hunted down. Two paths, same truth. You're not meant to last forever, but your legacy is. This isn't a game just about fighting demons, it's about becoming something, living with that choice, and leaving something behind. A system built on identity, choice, and consequence. And if you're a gamer, a developer, or part of an anime studio, this is what future of anime games could look like. And this is a game that I believe deserves to be built. I want to get more I want to give more information on story mode. So, when you complete your first chapter, you're able to become a demon if you like. And depending on which demon you accept to become a demon from, they're going to have a unique mystery demon skill to give you. So, with 100 different demons and you being able to select which missions you want to do first, means that you can. It's really just a formula so people can not just accept the first demon that they encounter to become a demon, because there are going to be some people that are going to want to play as a demon, right? So if there was a linear story mode, say you had to do chapter 1, and then chapter 2 comes along and the first demon's like, "Hey, you be a demon." If everyone's going to encounter that demon, that means there's going to be a huge amount of people that are going to use their one time offer of becoming a demon and getting that unique skill. So, by having multiple demons, mini bosses, and hardcore bosses, and meeting them in different times in your life, spreads out uh, the chances, the opportunities of someone getting the same blood art. And also, when you select your mission, it's the easiest, and each mission that you choose afterward is harder. So I can choose mission 1, you could choose mission 10, and we're going to be on the same difficulty. But if I choose level 2 and you choose level 9, those two are going to be the same difficulty, but those two are also going to be harder than the first choice that we selected. And if you choose not to be a demon slayer, or sorry, a demon, when you finish the 10 chapters, you automatically get a demon form. And you get the demon form of whatever was the last demon that killed you. And after those 10 chapters, that's when you do the main story mode where you play as Tanjiro, um, Hashira. You just play as all these uh, figures that are known in the anime, and you fight different demons, different missions, opportunities for co-op. There's actually opportunities for co-op even in story mode. That's what the headquarters are. They're like little lobby areas where there might be missions where you need 3 people to participate in it. I was also interested in having the a mixed rank platform. So if you chose the easy mode and someone else chose hardcore mode, they can play together, but only on certain missions. So there will be a mission list that you can select for only hardcore players and only casual players, but then there will also be some like extra quests and extra missions where you can play with a um, other rank individual or other difficulty player. And the story essentially ends the way the anime would. And after you complete the story modes of either Demon Slayer or Demon, think a normal free roam world where you can continue building up your characters, uh, your so you can continue building your character so you can apply that character in the like battle royale modes or the multiplayer modes. The way I want it formulated is that the most that you can learn is 2 to 3 breathing styles before you die at the end of chapter 10. I think 2 would be better than 3, but if there is a huge selection of different um, breathing styles, then I believe that 3 would be appropriate to learn too. So that way, when you go to those versus mode, the multiplayer mode or battle royale mode, you have these different styles you can use to make them flashy, more um, tactical combat system because people will have different fighting styles. And the one problem that I have is how do you select your breathing style, right? So I was thinking when the game begins, you select your name, you build your character the way you look, and then it asks you where do you want to live, and maybe show all of Japan, all these different regions, and all these cities that you could choose from. These cities won't be headquarter areas; they'll be just regular cities. So there will be tons of districts, tons of cities, and then there will be those hidden areas that you find through exploration. And depending on which city you chose to be a native from, then in those areas you'll get like a banner like go to this location and then you'll meet a specific um demon slayer that will teach you just the beginning, right? And then he'll give you a mission where you have to travel and essentially live out a similar story as Tanjiro. And whenever chapter 1 is finished, that's whenever you can start getting nitty-gritty and also become a demon. Um there's I'm pretty sure there's more that could be added to the game, but I think for what it's worth, I kept it really simple and basic enough where it wouldn't overwhelm y'all to visualize the idea and also uh branch new ideas. So I would really like anyone who comes across this and who likes this idea or and has some type of epiphany, some idea uh to to share it. That'd be really cool. Um I believe that it has a lot of potential and I really wish that there was a way that you can incorporate your own character in the main story or timeline, but it just didn't make sense to learn certain styles from certain teachers and then end up in the infinite castle. It conflicts with the main story, and I want it to be as fair and accurate to the actual anime because I don't want to what's the word? Not sour, but I want to uh pay honor to the anime and all the ideas that I have and make sure that the anime itself isn't tampered with. So making a completely different storyline where you consequently die is just a part of your fate. I think that's a unique twist to gaming because usually when you die, you just try again, right? But after chapter 10 is like our ancestors or the people that were born before us, these people who've shaped history, who's made a difference in the world. It's it's a way that where you can make a difference in the world that kind of like led up or shaped into the world that the where the anime actually takes place. So it's really special in that sense, and I think that's really cool. Um, Also, being able to select to be a demon. Also, I didn't like the concept of once you become a demon, you're permanently a demon. In the anime, when Tanjiro defeats the enemy, they tend to alleviate themselves from a certain darkness and they have a revelation and they find peace before they leave, right? And I also believe that in life that we're all redeemable and it doesn't matter what embarrassing, shameful, regretful things or bad things that you've done in the past, that once you acknowledge these certain darknesses and where they stem from and you let go essentially and you choose to change aspects of yourself that only you can change instead of like wishing the world changed around you. When you change things that you can change about yourself, when you learn things about yourself and you learn that you are not that person that you were yesterday, 2 days ago, uh 10 years ago, when you made that choice or decision, we're all redeemable. And to have a game system that's designed where once you select uh, a bad path, right, the path of the demons, um, and you can argue if they're good or bad, whatever. I'm not too big on the whole, um, Jedi's versus the Council type debates. Um, Everyone is an an opposer of some sort, but I don't, because the demons have that are negative in the anime. I want the players to also know that they have choice, that they're not just stuck with a particular character that they have. That's why after 10 chapters, when you've learned three and then you die, it makes that weird, like that feeling you've grown attached to your character, you want to build it some more. Is this the end? And it's technically not. It's just the end of the story that carries on into the next era, the main storyline. But after you complete the main missions, then it's just you can continue playing your character, but completely free roam. No particular missions or anything. That system is going to have to be set up uniquely too. And the reason why is because demons can only come out at night. So demon slayers can roam anytime, right? But what would make it super cool is somehow I mentioned 30 minutes of night, 20 minutes warning sign, so you got to get away. If there was a way to really give the demons some exploration, right? Um, it could be a complete different lobby, so every time they do go out, it's nighttime, and they can have a lot of nighttime available, not just 30 minutes. Like the whole game will just be nighttime. Um, but when a demon slayer comes across a actual demon, so another online player versus another online player, um, how does that like work? It's really something that I'm still trying to discover myself how that would work. Uh, some things are I mentioned stat building, putting points on stats. Things like senses and skill like eyesight, hearing, smell. The demons, since they're nighttime, they definitely get an awareness boost, like better nighttime vision. Um, Still trying to figure it out. Um, just trying to visualize it because I mentioned this in my early videos. I'm not a game developer. I'm just a guy with ideas, and I'm here just to share them. So thinking about how to balance that is difficult for me to comprehend. How do we make nighttime not more vibrant, but maybe transparent in a way where demons can actually free roam in the darkness instead of walking in just black? To have defined trees, mountains, hills. Um, and that's the part that I'm having a hard time visualizing because I do want it to be difficult for the demon slayers. I want them to be on equal playing fields, so to speak. Anyways, that's all I have for right now. So please let me know what you think. Thank you for being here. I'm Rodney with Shenskin Ideas. All of you have a wonderful day.